I'm done. I moved everything. That's good.
I found some. No, that's total. That's Shogun 2. I don't need that map.
Lucas, I hate to break it to you, I don't think this map includes any roads. And the reason why I say this is because I actually looked up what the spelling is for a road in Japanese. That word's nowhere in this entire map.
Remember, words
You
can
see, you
entirely
say that?
change, and there's
God
also
damn.
multiple meanings for one kind of word in Japanese.
Pacific, you say that? This is literally the map of Japan during the Sengoku period, and that is their
Luke.
roads.
Luke, send me the
Then
map.
which one is the fucking roads? Because it's gotta be marked somehow.
Luke, send it to me real quick.
You're gonna stroke out, James. I'm telling you this now. I'm also trying to find a better map, Pacific. Because I'm staring at this like,
Roll
what?
20.
What?
Oh, I have to open
Sign
that.
in,
That's
roll
really
20.
small.
Sengoku Jedi. Just die.
Saying Gokuchi die.
Okay, all
then
these symbols
Akuchi
mean
die.
road of some kind.
For the honor of a warrior's life.
Okay, there is the word road and well, there's a symbol for the word road in several of these
There's
lines.
Korean on this map. Nice meme.
That surprises me less than you probably think it does, James.
Okay, that one refers to an area, not a road. That refers to a unit of government smaller than a city, so it's probably close. Okay, so some of these
River,
symbols for what are supposed to mean a road of
territory,
some kind are not quite accurate.
Clan area. None of these show roads. None of these in this, Luke, show roads. It shows planned territories and tributaries.
I scream. For I am now
At
a
least was
possum.
partially right of on what exactly those fucking delineation lines were. God damn it, Lucas.
Pacific?
I
Yeah,
scream.
'cause
This
the
is
only
why we
thing that
don't
would
look
be-
at maps that aren't in our native language.
The only thing that would even be remotely close to a road are some of the clan, like the tribal area split off lines could be taken as highways, because some of these words can be really loosely translated, since I have to kind of also go by the Korean
On
words.
Oppie's
I
brain
know.
because of what he told me.
Yeah, there's also
He
Korean
said
meanings in some of these. So,
declaring war.
like for example, this one right here. Pacific, are you looking at it?
Um,
The
not
one that
anymore,
Luke sent us that
yeah.
stroked us out. Alright, you see the area where there's a lot of red lines leading to one central dot?
Leading to or leading away from?
In this instance, it'd be leading away.
Yes.
Then there's that dot, that one that leads into it. Those rivers and clan lines could be derived from highways as well. Because if it follows topography like I think it does, some of these are going to be like valley highways, if that makes sense.
Gotta love when everything's fucking footpaths and nobody ever
Japan
records them.
doesn't record their pathways. Thanks, Japan.
Even the Romans did this. The Chinese did this.
Well, Japan has had a long history of, expecting people to have common sense.
Well, granted, yes, that is entirely. I'm going to find the.
You're like, well, okay, yes.
Yeah, I can't help it that they're legitimately just smarter than your average Westerner.
Oh yeah, Luke, I did a little bit of reading into the thing for Westerner. Pacific, guess what happened recently, just because this leads into it, and I think you'd find it interesting.
What do you mean by Westerner? What
A
happened?
North Korean defector fled North Korea and came to the United States and decided to go to a Ivy League school for college to get a higher education. And she said that the propaganda and brainwashing in college is worse than North Korea, and she said, quote, not even North Korea is this nuts.
Wait now.
Yeah, one of the things she said was the ability to think freely and have your own opinion is almost non-existent in the current educational structure for college in the United States.
Oh, we
James.
know.
Pacific, you know what I just said fuck it and did?
What?
I'm gonna show you the map that I grabbed. You're probably going to laugh at this. That's more detailed than what I have. As far as the game's fucking pathing and shit.
So Luke, do you want to see someone carbonate Stilichnia?
That sounds horrifying.
He sipped it and said, "I will never drink this like this, but it feels stronger."
It's like this? This Pacific, you know something
Well,
that's funny?
at the very least, the Shogun 2 Total War roadmap does technically incorporate the path that you would take in order to get to a province from another province, but it doesn't take into account fully the actual terrain nor the actual structure of the path itself.
It does actually have terrain if you check it.
Yes, I know it has terrain. I mean, one of these roads from Heiwate to Miyagi goes straight through a mountain.
Oh yeah, Luke, do you know who?
And
Harvey
another one
Milk
goes
is?
through the ocean, mind you, Lucas.
Yes, these are just pathing though.
However, though, it does tell you where you would route through in order to get from one place to another.
Yes,
Do you
yes,
know who
James.
Harvey Milk is?
Harvey Milk.
Yes.
I'm going to continue doing Sengoku shit, so I don't have to address that.
Well, is that a yes or no?
That is a I don't want to.
The first openly gay senator in 1978 who was assassinated for being openly gay.
America. Oh yeah, by the way, James, you know how long the Libertarian Party has been trying to get gay rights going?
Very long time.
71.
Cool.
And then gay rights happened, and we all realized this was a mistake. What?
You're not
It's
wrong.
accurate.
But goddamn it, the way you said it.
He's out of his lane, but he's not wrong.
Hey, Pacific?
What?
Remember that Pokemon Pumpkin game I've told you about?
Oh, is that the remake of a Pokemon game that you... Was that when you were telling me that one of the Pokemon fan games got remade?
Yeah, it was Halloween
Yeah.
themed.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
about it?
So far, because I was playing it earlier, every time I've run out of Pokeballs right before I hit the Pokemon Center, I've hit a shiny.
Oh wait, yeah, Luke. You know what makes it even funnier?
The fact
No
that I have to
shiny
look at
for
a
you.
map and figure out what page is doing.
Very true. But you want to know what he was the senator over before he was assassinated?
What?
Before he was
San
sanitized.
Francisco.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. It's
You know what? The
Bears.
only thing that makes me kind of sad though.
What?
He served on the USS the USS
Kitty Hawk?
Kittiwake during
Ah.
the Korean War.
Well,
James,
he
I
was
just-
in the Navy.
That's why he's
James,
gay.
Exactly. It's surprising they didn't figure this out sooner.
James, I'm just so happy though that you accidentally misspoke for just a second there, and you just said, "Ah, yes," before he was sanitized. I'm like, wait a minute.
Before he was cleansed.
Yeah, if you ask some conservatives, that is the proper way to talk about that.
Shocked the gay out of them. I firmly believe he would do that, and I kind of wish Trump was impeached sooner so I could see Mike Pence try and enact that. You know how funny that would be?
Pacific?
What?
Alright, and so you know the shiny Corsola and shiny Weasel?
The shiny. Wait, the shiny. Weasel?
Weasel and Corsola. Like, shiny Weasel
Yeah.
is gold, and Corsola is, like, shiny blue. Like, diamond
Yeah.
blue.
What about it?
I ran into them once on the same route.
Wow, you've been getting incredibly lucky. Or unlucky, given the fact that you never have Pokeballs whenever they show up.
Yeah, no, I haven't had a single Pokeball every time.
So James.
Like,
Well, Paige.
yes.
I know where you are on the Shogun 2 map.
Am I on the path where I saw a bear?
No.
No, if I recall correctly, you saw the bear before you got to town, not after.
Yeah.
So, no, you're
Pacific.
already past that point.
Pacific, do you know where she is?
Vaguely.
So,
I don't think you gave any names, though.
No, well, I gave a name of the
And I know
town, but
I know that she
not
started
on
in the mountains and ended still in the mountains.
Yeah, she's like near the fucking like plains area. You know where the road from Iwate goes to Miyagi?
Yes, the road that I was talking about that went, I said according to Shogun 2 goes straight through a mountain.
Even though they do that actually, and it's weird.
Even though in the actual Shogun 2 map it is in fact at least modeled correctly where it goes around the mountain rather than straight through it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is, she's near there. You know where the mountains are that are pretty much on that provincial border?
Oh, she's next to the border. Okay. Or next to the mountains next to the border.
Well, in the mountains next to the border. Well, in the mountains next to the border in the province with Iwate.
Ah.
And in that weird area. She's like in that position right prior to where she hits fucking flat area.
So where are you right now, Rock? What do you mean, Rock? Rock.
Rock.
Rock. So, Paige, you're going to get moving?
Yeah, I'm going to just sort of like keep pace, make sure to eat, sort of like eat where I eat as a constant on the move. You get it.
Alright. Okay. So she would start in rough terrain and eventually hit plains. I'm actually probably going to have to pull up Japan just to fucking see all this terrain shit.
This part is Lucas, you need to figure out how, like how far she went on rough terrain before she went on to the plains.
Alright, America, we're crossing the Pacific.
We're committing numerous war crimes in the case of freedom. No one can stop me now.
Let's see.
Anyone who dies is a communist and will be executed as if they were a communist.
I love having to figure out all this.
So says I, Bill Nye, the science guy. Where am I green? I love how I'm just like, now I'm just switching over to cooking because I haven't eaten all day and my stomach went food.
Oh, hey, Hines. Well, Lucas is still figuring that out. Has Austin yet figured out the fact that he needs to make a greenhouse?
No.
So he's just still sitting there struggling as his crops die repeatedly?
Well, to be fair, he's now farming sheep.
He became a shepherd because he can't properly do anything else.
If memory
I don't
serves,
know
I
if
had
you're
to.
doing a lot of. I don't know
Actually,
if you're doing a lot of
Pacific.
sheep farming.
That
But we
statement
never
I
know if
made
it's
was
music
actually incorrect. You want to know what would actually be closer to where she is? Because I'm looking at the
Oh.
map and I'm looking over. Miyagi.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me guess, you put her a little bit too far north when she started?
No, I had her correct. It's just my brain didn't process it properly. Hopping between 3 different tabs. Which means you are there and then near Fukushima. So you probably would have been near what is modern.
How long does it take to get from one side of Japan to another nowadays? Without like walking, not driving.
Oh, by walking?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a month, tops. You gotta keep in mind, you can't walk in a straight line. There's mountains everywhere. But
Fair enough.
I think it's modern day, thanks to all the roads and whatnot. I think it's closer to like, maybe 2 weeks.
So it'd probably be near Sendai, near Kawasaki. Which actually,
Also, Lucas, I'm not currently looking at the map, but you are sure that you set her in the correct starting province, right?
yes, she had it written down and everything.
Okay. Just had to double check. Wouldn't be the first time that we've all gotten our positions confused on a map because we had the wrong starting point.
So, Pacific. This is going to be fun.
One moment, I'm not at my computer.
Okay,
I'll
so
be
measure
back there shortly.
distance. There. So we'll say right about there.
Big kitty goth girl.
You would be coming down to Sendai.
I'd be coming.
We know, Hines. We know. Anywho, are you still pathing Paige's route?
Yeah, and actually Paige wouldn't have come down to Sendai. She would have gone down to Iwanamuda, which is 13 miles on rough terrain. And then she could effectively just follow the coast.
Which isn't necessarily a proper road, but...
Actually,
Still
that
a
has a
hell of a-
highway.
Oh! Oh, good. Well, that's gonna make travel so much easier.
So that is, in fact, probably the likeliest way to take. Yeah, because then once she hits that, it's legitimately just a highway to Edo. And then from there, there's a highway all the way to Kyoto. So, I have to...
Spice packet.
No, not 2,500, 200. So that would be rough until it eventually hit wooded. And actually, that might just be wooded if I'm going to be realistic here. But I don't think it's high enough to actually be under rough terrain. And it's not particularly hilly, it's just all downhill. They
So in
do
other
give
words, her
the
travel should be
same...
relatively fine, so long as she doesn't bump into anything weird.
Yeah, they do give the same modifier, of course, so it doesn't really matter. Paige!
Yes?
Movement speed for you.
Alright, give me a second.
Let's see, Nishi. I don't know.
Current, it says 5.
Movement speed?
which I
Yes.
think is Pacific, wasn't it? Times 2, and then that's what, double it, and you get the amount of miles.
Give me
You
just a
travel
moment. I need to go sit back down and reopen the book.
I have the book open, and I have it on another thing.
Yes,
Makes
the
it
travel is. Got it somewhere in there. Scroll down real quick. That's the environment. Is it environment? No. It is.
Run and re per day, move by 2 re, and yeah. So you'd be moving 10 re, which is about.
By the way, Lucas, there's an actual map in here of the roads and highways.
It only has the highways. I checked.
Yeah, but still. And it also says, the segment on roads, it just says villages are often connected with each other and with the main, trunk routes by dirt roads.
And I'm just like, how do I figure out how to get to certain section? But yes, Pacific, even little shitty roads count as rough terrain, kind of. It's weird.
The little shitty roads actually count as poor road.
Yeah.
Which doesn't confer any benefits, but also no downsides.
Yep. So
The highways double your movement range.
So 5 miles per thing.
Still looking.
Actually, I can just ping pong this all the way down.
Shut the hell up!
Is Ainz okay?
It's Ainz.
He has family nearby.
You hear him yelling, "Get that ass!
Movements.
Get that ass!"
Let's see. Your re per day is move by 2, then by 5 again, because each re is 5 miles. Let me see. And then you have your terrain modifiers. Going with the.
It sounds like Ainz is gonna go beat somebody's ass.
I told you to shut your ass up!
So let's see, we're doing the move modifier, not the move cost method. So let's see. Effectively, in the game, they base the total movement of a trip on the majority of the terrain you cross during the phase. In question.
Rough.
Yeah, so rough. It's not mountain, it's rough, specifically.
Yeah, it's too low to be mountain.
Flatland that is strewn with small plants, rocky ground, hilly areas, sand dunes, and mountains up to 1,000 shaku.
Yes, because it's mostly rough, and then it hits.
So then we half the movement again, so it should be whatever her move speed is times 5 for the miles that she's able to travel.
Well, it's 2, so that's 10.
Wait, what's her move speed again?
She said 2, I think?
Paige, what did you say your movement speed is?
My
Speed is SD, right?
No, the move, the actual stat.
current is 5.
5. Okay. Now you multiply that by 5
5.
because the move modifier cuts out the other thing. So she can move 25 miles in a day.
Without being on a highway.
Yes.
Pacific, guess how long Paige's trip is going to be? Totaled up to get to Kyoto.
And then it can be modified by roads. Is she traveling along a poor road or a path for the majority of it?
This would be a poor road.
Okay,
Yo.
so no modifier there.
I'll be right back.
Continue.
Yeah.
There's just
So,
an important distinction to make.
Pacific, her
Yes.
total trip is going to be 500 miles. Most of that's going to be on a highway.
500 miles, a good chunk of it's going to be on a highway. So on the day when she hits the highway, her speed doubles. And she's probably not going to be on rough terrain anymore at that point.
Nope. Pretty much just plains at that point. So,
Technically her speed quadruples. Yay! Because she loses the modifier that's cutting out half of her speed. Then gets another one that doubles it again.
so she's gonna hit the fucking
Yeah, so today
highway.
she's 25.
Yeah, she's gonna hit the highway before the end of the day.
Okay,
that's-
so when in the day does she hit it? Like, how far has she already gone?
That would be 13.45 miles. So
That's the
13
majority.
Yeah.
That's more than half of her move, so unfortunately she doesn't get the benefit of the highway until tomorrow.
Yep. She caps out at 25. Which is in Yamamoto.
Oh, good. It was enough to get to the next city.
Yeah, that's a major town. And that's Nishi's day. Alright.
Oh,
fine,
and
you bitch.
keep in mind, Lucas, that terrain modifier thing with when it's factored in also occurs during combat.
Yep.
So, if someone's moving over rough terrain, it happens to be a larger portion of rough terrain than easy terrain, they're still going to be slowed.
Alright, Nines. You're in the army now.
No, how fun.
You're in the army now. Whoa, you're in the army now.
It's gonna be great. I love the army.
And